Desertification crisis, Morocco's oases fight for survival. A race against time is unfolding in Morocco's legendary oases, and the outcome could reshape entire communities. Once lush and teeming with life, these green havens are now fighting for survival as the desert relentlessly encroaches. But here's where it gets controversial. Is enough being done to save them, or are we watching a slow-motion disaster that could have been prevented? Take the Skoura Oasis, for example, a place that was once celebrated for its rich soil and dependable water sources. Today, Skoura stands at a crossroads. The oasis is drying up, and the threat of desertification is more real than ever. Farmers who have depended on these lands for generations are now facing a harsh new reality: water is vanishing, and the heat is only getting worse. Khaled Boubekri, a local farmer, shares a glimpse into the daily struggle. We're forced to dig wells to irrigate our fields, but every year, the water table drops lower. We have to dig deeper and deeper just to keep our crops alive. In response, many like Boubekri are adopting drip irrigation, a method that delivers water directly to plant roots, minimizing waste and stretching every precious drop. It's a smart move, but is it enough? And this is the part most people miss: the crisis isn't just about farmers. The entire Skoura community is feeling the strain, from families to local businesses. Ahmed Amrabu, who works with the Harsania cooperative, points out that the drought has devastated olive trees, a cornerstone of the local economy. The impact goes beyond agriculture, he explains. People are leaving for the cities because they can't make a living here anymore. Our cooperative is trying to help by training farmers and working with officials to find ways to slow down this climate-driven migration. The numbers are sobering. According to the United Nations, nearly 40% of Morocco's oases have already lost their cultivated land. Experts warn that if unsustainable practices continue, farmers could see their incomes plummet even further. But here's a question that could spark debate: should the focus be on new technology, government intervention, or return to traditional methods that once kept these oases thriving? Looking forward, researchers and local leaders are determined to find lasting solutions. Their goal is to help Skoura's farmers not just survive, but adapt and prosper in a changing climate. But will these efforts be enough to turn the tide, or is it already too late for Morocco's iconic oases? What do you think? Are we witnessing the end of an era, or is there still hope for these ancient green sanctuaries? Share your thoughts below. Do you agree with the current strategies, or do you see a different path forward? A sacred moment at a dried-up oasis. There's something haunting about capturing a moment that feels both eternal and fleeting, a scene where absence speaks louder than presence. This is the story behind Mohamed Kilito's most iconic photograph, taken at a dried-up oasis in Morocco. It's not just an image, it's a meditation on loss, resilience, and humanity's fragile relationship with nature. And here's what makes it even more compelling: it was entirely unplanned. 3 years ago, I traveled to Merzouga, a remote village in eastern Morocco. My original mission? To document ancient wall drawings and inscriptions that marked the distance from this desert outpost to Timbuktu, Mali, distances once measured by camel caravans traversing the Sahara. But when I arrived, those markings were gone, erased by time or neglect. Faced with this unexpected void, I found myself searching for a new narrative, something raw and unscripted. Enter Mustafa, my guide for the day. He started by leading me through the usual tourist spots, places that didn't ignite any creative spark within me. Then, almost as an afterthought, he suggested we venture into the dunes. At first, I wasn't particularly intrigued. Sand dunes are beautiful, sure, but they are also ubiquitous in desert photography. However, everything changed when we stumbled upon an old, abandoned well. The structure itself was unremarkable, weathered by decades of sun and wind. Yet, it held a kind of silent gravitas. I set up my gear, a vintage Hasselblad 500 camera from 1972, and began framing the shot. That's when Mustafa did something extraordinary. Without prompting, he stepped toward the well and leaned over its edge, peering inside as if searching for answers, or perhaps water. His movement was instinctive, yet deeply symbolic. It felt like a ritual, a gesture born out of desperation and reverence. In that split second, the photograph transformed from a simple landscape into something profoundly sacred. It was as though Mustafa was praying for the return of something vital, water. This spontaneous moment perfectly encapsulates the essence of my larger project, titled Before It's Gone Star. The initiative explores the fragility of ecosystems, the human struggle for survival, and the enduring power of memory amidst environmental degradation. I launched the project in 2018 after noticing alarming trends in Moroccan oases, rising temperatures, dwindling water supplies, abandoned palm groves, and a growing rural exodus. These landscapes, once vibrant hubs of life and culture, were slowly fading away. I felt compelled to document this transformation, not merely as an ecological phenomenon, but as a social and cultural reckoning. Over time, the scope of the project expanded far beyond Morocco. My journey took me to oases in Tunisia, Egypt, Saudi Arabia, and Mauritania. Each location revealed similar patterns, reinforcing the idea that these aren't isolated stories, they are global warnings. Climate change is often discussed in abstract terms or framed as a distant threat. Through my work, I aim to ground it in reality, making it tangible, relatable, and urgent. Including humans in my photographs has always been crucial. Oases aren't just geographical features, they are living, breathing entities shaped by centuries of human interaction. They are homes, livelihoods, and repositories of culture. In this particular image, Mustafa represents that intricate bond. His act of leaning into the well carries layers of meaning. It signifies dependence, resilience, vulnerability, hope, and remembrance. This mirrors my broader artistic vision, which seeks to explore how individuals adapt to change, whether it's the decline of oases, shifts in youth identity in Morocco, or the sociological dynamics of work and migration. Water scarcity isn't just an environmental issue anymore. It's a humanitarian crisis, especially in arid regions like the Sahara, where life has always hinged on precarious water sources. Images like this one serve as visual testimonies, powerful reminders of what's at stake. Photography has taught me to slow down, observe deeply, and listen to the silence. This photograph captures loss, yes, but it also embodies quiet resistance. Communities are being forced to abandon their ancestral homes, not because of conflict, but because the water is vanishing. I hope this image inspires empathy and action, encouraging viewers to see the climate emergency not as a distant headline, but as an immediate call to protect our planet's resources and the cultures that depend on them. Interestingly, this fleeting moment, captured without premeditation, now resonates on a much larger scale. Today, you can find it blown up as a poster in subway stations across London, promoting the Wellcome Trust's exhibition Thirst Star. Seeing it there fills me with humility and reinforces the importance of staying open to serendipity, of letting the story unfold organically. But here's where it gets controversial: should photographers intervene in the scenes they capture? Or should they remain passive observers, documenting reality exactly as it unfolds? What responsibilities do artists have in shaping public perception of crises like climate change? These questions linger in my mind, and I'd love to hear your thoughts. Do you think art has the power to drive real change, or is it simply a reflection of the world as it is? Hamd Kilito's journey is rooted in curiosity and driven by purpose. Born in Lviv, Ukraine, in 1981, he later pursued a master's degree in political science at the University of Ottawa. Influenced by luminaries like Alex Soth, Hakeem Balabs, and Carlos Regaders, his career has seen highs such as becoming a National Geographic explorer, gracing the cover of Nat Geo magazine, and winning the prestigious World Press Photo Prize. But it hasn't been without challenges. Financial struggles and broken promises from galleries have tested his resolve. Despite these hurdles, his advice remains steadfast: believe in yourself, do your research, understand your niche, and carve out your own path.